This is the Michelin Man. Michelin Man likes to talk tough, but he's soft, like a marshmallow. He hides in his mom's house and makes excuses to not go out in public. Michelin Man is an incel. Don't be Michelin Man. The women, the homosexuals, the H3H3 divorcees, everyone is here. Peace has been achieved in the Middle East, and it's all over one boy, one Def Noodles. This is actually my second video on old Dennis. Keemstar getting angry at him in DMs is what's caused 25% of his channel to be Keemstar. So my theory is that Dennis is a bisexual. A few months ago, Def Noodles ran a story on the B family, defending false rape allegations that they made against a 17-year-old boy. He was criticized by another YouTuber, Papa Gut, because he defended a false rape allegation, which led to the most embarrassing debate ever recorded. I won't go through the whole thing, but if I was involved in this, I would never speak of it, I would go into hiding, I would castrate myself, I would kill myself. Anyway, Dennis called the guy a pedophile. He did this over a joke Papa Gut made a few years ago. If she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed. It was a satirical call out of a guy who was fucking kids. Allegedly. Also, Dennis has outright defended Papa Gut making this joke.
Video, for example, where you say that if she bleeds, she's ready to breed or something.
I would love to talk about both of these. Okay, wait, hold on. Can we talk about both of these?
Are you telling me that you're you're actually a pedophile and you're just hiding behind a joke? Is that what you're telling me?
The full joke that I made was if she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed. Thank you very much, Andre Lopez, for the advice. So Andre Lopez at the time was a 23-year-old TikToker with like 20 million fans.
I know what Andre is. I actually broke that story, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, which story is that?
15-year-old girl, the one with the recording.
Yeah. So regardless of my intention was to call that out. I would use humor to call stuff out, but it missed because people misinterpreted it. It's an inappropriate joke regardless.
I mean, what's the context? That's the thing that we keep coming back to. Humor is all about context.
I know, but like you threw out the old enough to bleed, old enough to breed thing. I'm just like explaining the take on it. It's still inappropriate because of the sphere that I was in, and like people were very sensitive to pedophile jokes, which makes perfect sense. And so like now I'm more sensitive to making like that joke, and I'm gonna stop because I am worried about the way that what I'm saying is interpreted. Let me
explain something to you.
I know, but it's not just all. Sometimes it's about the way that people receive information, and like we need to make sure we speak about it in the right. Yes, it is.
Louis C.K. did a 7-minute bit on SNL where he talks about a pedophile in his neighborhood, offering him McDonald's and him getting in his car and getting molested.
But we're not on SNL.
So it seems like he made this tweet purely out of malice. His defense of this tweet so far has been to completely misrepresent it and say that he only said he looked like a pedophile, which he clearly didn't. Word of advice, Dennis, delete the tweet before you start lying about it.
I'm not going to have an emotionally provoked response. This is just what Dennis does, and I know it's to get me to have an emotional response here. But like realistically speaking, I'm not going to take the bait.
What the fuck do you do, Dennis? What the fuck do you do? Your podcast is horseshit. You have no intellect, because you don't care if kids get fucking raped, Dennis. You don't give a shit.
Dennis made even more tweets mocking the guy, which got around 10 likes collectively. He made merch of the guy's face on it, he restarted his Patreon, and he had a 6-hour Twitter space where he was confronted by Papa Gut.
You're piggybacking off of someone else's drama so that you can drum up sympathy for yourself.
Dennis, do you just want people to fucking hate you? Just to put it in context, when he says he's piggybacking off trauma, the trauma he's referring to is the rape of Papa Gut's wife. I think that after this Twitter space, the question shifted from why did Def Noodles falsely accuse Papa Gut to what mental disability does Def Noodles have?
It is objectively funny to fuck children.
Wait, I'm so confused. What does it matter if the joke is funny? Is your like ethics on whether you can make it, whether the joke is funny or not?
Yeah. I'm trying to understand. It is objectively funny to fuck a 14-year-old girl.
No, I was going to sleep at night thinking of Papa Gut having sex with a child. Is that your thing?
Yeah.
He's trying to say that the reason the joking was in quotes is because the joke wasn't funny. He's just saying it in the most roundabout, retarded way that he possibly could. It's looking like his career might actually be finished over this, which is wild to me as Def Noodles isn't a stranger to making false accusations. In fact, he's made multiple over the course of his short-lived career. He's accused Keemstar of taking his Twitter down, accused Keemstar of taking down his videos, accused Keemstar of anti-Semitism, accused Keemstar of racism, accused Keemstar of domestic abuse, accused Keemstar of pedophilia. Did I mention that this guy is also suing Keemstar over slander? Ain't that fucking wild? In my last video I said Dennis would never sue Keemstar, the reason cited being that Def Noodles is a pussy. Dennis knew that I'd hit the nail on the head. He knew that I knew his secret, that I saw his sin. As a response, the very next day after my video was uploaded, he filed the lawsuit against Keemstar, digging deep to pay the $400,000 legal fees. When he made his original video on the lawsuit, he was begging other YouTubers to pitch in and help him pay for it.
If you're a creator who has been slandered or defamed by Keemstar or he's lied about you, please get in contact with me.
But nobody did, so he's presumably paying the legal fees himself, and considering he said he couldn't pay it,
I don't have that money, folks.
This leaves us with only one conclusion. Dennis is straight up going bankrupt. He had to capitalize on people's hatred of him by offering to bring people to his home so they can spit on him and fuck his ex-wife, all for the low cost of $15. You can see the lack of funding in his new videos, as his podcast set has been changed from a lovely big room with a desk in the middle to Dennis's bedroom, where co-hosts call in using a prison payphone. His regular videos have also received a downgrade, as he no longer uses the green screen and instead records all his content on the same set ISIS uses. Dennis is a man of complete contradiction. On one hand, he's trying to fly out his critics to New York and call them pussies if they don't shit-talk him to his face, but on the other hand, he has a video on his channel called Carvos Made Me Want to Quit YouTube. Dennis's biggest defense is his identity as a professional comedian. This has sparked debate across the internet of whether Dennis is or isn't a comedian. Let's take a look at his accolades. He has written jokes for various television shows, including HBO's Chernobyl. He has also performed live in various comedy clubs to an audience of around 3 to 4 people. He received high praise from The Vulture, which Dennis describes as the top comedy podcast. After their interview, they said they couldn't even tell if he was joking, which is a problem I also faced when watching his content. Going off of the definition of a comedian, Dennis is technically a comedian, someone who seeks to entertain an audience through jokes and humor. Dennis does seek to entertain an audience through jokes and humor, he just fails to do so. Dennis is constantly hyping up his comedic ability by putting everyone else down. If someone else tells a joke that Dennis doesn't like or find funny, he says it's not real comedy. He's basically attempting to gatekeep the concept of being funny, albeit in vain as no one takes him seriously. Dennis, you can look down on everyone else, but at the end of the day you're not funnier than bruh. What the dog doing? What the dog doing, bruh? So why is Dennis doing all this? Well, look at his life. He's facing 40, he hasn't achieved any of his dreams, his wife divorced him, and he's involved in a lawsuit that he's definitely going to lose. The man's clearly going insane.